What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're talking about the Doctor Strange Heartless campaign. Getting ready for that. This is one that is going to be very interesting because we're getting a new difficulty level with it called Heroic. And with this, you're going to come with some pretty high recommendations. Gear tier 15, squad level 85, and ability level 6 plus. The reason why we're talking about this is because this new difficulty is also supposed to reward teal gear with it. And we're going to talk about this and talk about the best unyielding characters that you should be bringing into this, and we're going to break that all down in today's video. So if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful or informative, make sure that like button helps drive the algorithm and helps kind of get the video out there for more people, but also make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Let's dive into it. So we know there was going to be teal gear with this, and the optimist in me wants to say like, oh, we're going to get like 10, 20 pieces of like different origin gear and everything. The pessimist in me and the realist probably says this is going to be more like a couple pieces of origin teal gear. I'm willing to be surprised. We'll see what they do with it. You know, fingers crossed. We'll find out. We'll find out tonight. I'm pushing this video out in the morning. We'll find out just what kind of teal gear we're expecting with this. And we'll do a video talking about the campaign, kind of walking through with it. But you see that we need unyielding characters. And if you go and look at your unyielding roster, it's actually not bad. It's a pretty solid lineup here. Some very good characters. You have several Weapon X characters. You've got Doctor Strange, Hentai Doctor Strange, Heartless Doctor Strange, whatever you want to call him. Also got Phoenix, a couple of Web Warriors, Kate Bishop, Echo. So we're going to kind of break that all down. Now, one thing I do want to go ahead and point out is that by no means should you be bringing in Phoenix. The reason why you don't want to bring in Phoenix is because there's no Beast with this, and with that, like, Phoenix's manufacturer died very early in the fight. Without Beast, if Phoenix dies, you're stuck with a you're stuck where you're not gonna get a 3-star on the mission. So you could clear it, but you're not gonna be able to auto submit if you bring in Phoenix because she's gonna die. Yeah, this is when I saw it, I was like, oh great, we can use Phoenix, and I was like, oh wait, no, because you're gonna have an issue with the star. So this is pretty much a trap. Do not bring in Phoenix. If we had Beast, you could bring Beast in with like Colossus and Phoenix and possibly even Magic. You can use an Uncanny X-Men team in there, and with Beast and his passive, Phoenix could die, and then you're able to get 3 stars on the campaign node. But no Beast means no Phoenix. But outside of that, there's some really, really good combinations that I really like. Top off the list is going to be Gamora and Nebula, 2 Infinity Watch members that have great synergy. They're very fast, and once you have an empowered Gamora on your roster, she's putting out a lot of bleeds, a lot of heal blocks. There's assist chance with Nebula already, so you get this nice combo of Nebula and Gamora just going absolutely ham. So Nebula and Gamora, most people pretty much have Infinity Watch built up. Those are 2 high priority characters, in my opinion, you should be bringing in. They're very, very good characters. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. You've probably got tier 14, tier 15 Gamora. If you've played for a while, which, I mean, this is pretty much going to be for veteran players with heroic rosters, you're going to have Gamora at tier 15 most likely because you built her up for Infinity Watch. Same thing with Nebula. You've probably built her up for Infinity Watch. You've probably got tier 15 on her, a lot of T4s. Both those characters are going to work really, really well for you. Plus, they also both have revive mechanics built into their passives. So you can lose both of them once, and then they'll revive at 40% max health each. So, you know, if they do get picked on, they'll die, they'll revive, and you're able to save your 3-star rating. 3-star ratings are going to be very important because you want to auto sim these. So, you know, this is something you really, really want to make sure that you're going to be able to keep them alive. So, yeah, this one's actually 25% because it's only 10% plus 15 per Infinity Watch for Nebula. It's 20 plus 20 for Gamora. So Nebula will arrive at 25%. Gamora will arrive at 40%. Not bad for those. Another character I think is going to be really good is going to be this guy, Baron Zemo. If you've got him built up, you already know where we're going with this. Zemo continues to be one of the better plug-and-play characters in the game. Has an incredible speed stat. His speed stat here doesn't really bring it to fruition or doesn't really give you the full story. He gets another 40% on top of this. So he's running 140, 150 speed, does absolutely crazy fast speed with this, and you get him going very quickly, and then you open up with his ultimate here, that ability block and speed down. dispelling positive effects off of enemy targets. His special is a 2-turn cooldown, clears death proof, does a lot of damage, can't be blocked, and if you have any enemy minions on the opposing team, which we may or may not, this is going to pretty much one-shot those opposing minions. So Baron Zemo is very much a fantastic character, another great addition to that Unyielding roster. And then once you start going from there, Death Pool, like you've probably built up Death Pool for your new Warriors and Mystic Raid team. This pass is probably going to be very helpful. You build this up. I don't think you're going to ever get to her executability on her ultimate. Usually we don't get that a chance, but you know, she's gonna deal some nice damage on her passive every time you kill an enemy. You're probably building her up for DD5 as well, which is not a bad idea if you got Eternals already built up. But you know, you've probably got Death Pool ready to go. And then we get to Weapon X, Lady Deathstrike, Silver Samurai, and Wolverine. Now, you see here I've got Tier 16 Wolverine. We'll talk about Global DD5 at some point in the future. But Lady Deathstrike, yeah, I mean, Weapon X, War Meta Offense team, really, really good. About to be replaced as the best War Offense team by Darkhold, but you still probably really built up your Weapon X. Lady Deathstrike brings some really good stuff to the table. Number one, her special here reduces speed bar by 20% for the primary and adjacent targets. Deals some solid bleed damage with this and piercing damage. And then also, if she kills someone with this, other Weapon X allies are going to have positive effects on themselves, prolonged by +1. I could also improve this to 2 bleed on each target and up to 200% piercing if I put the T4 on here. But then also her Adamantium Flurry. This is going to also be able to help clear negative effects from herself and Weapon X allies. Applies immunity to self and all Weapon X allies too. So, you know, this is going to be sort of like a cleanse and also some really good damage with this character. She's constantly healing on her turns, and when she falls below 60% health, she gains Death Proof and evades. So she's got a little bit of that survivability. We don't quite know how difficult this is going to be, but I imagine that characters with some nice sustainability are going to be very important here, and Lady Deathstrike and Wolverine both bring that in spades here. Wolverine's another character. He's healing on each of his turns. He's getting defense up and Death Proof. He has a chance to revive, not really guaranteed, but then 100% block chance when below 50% health, and then 5% speed for each Uncanny or Weapon X ally. Now, you can bring in Colossus and get some really, really good synergy with it. Primal Berserker, you know, he's going to gain offense up for 2 turns if Colossus is an ally, clears a death proof from the opposing target, but I'm not real keen on bringing in Colossus because Colossus is a decent tank, but he has no real, you know, honestly, I have to look at this again. I don't believe, yeah, no, so you have to basically get the T4 passive on him. I don't know how many people put these T4 passive on him. If you haven't really invested in Colossus, you don't have this passive T4, he's got no sustainability. You have to have this passive T4 for the healing here. But also, he's got build-up charge, which means getting negative effects on the on Uncanny X-Men characters. And yeah, I'm not real keen on that. Like, without Beast here, I'm not real keen on bringing in Uncanny X-Men characters. You know, Magic and Colossus and Wolverine have some really nice synergy, but not an ideal option. But if you are looking for some nice sustainability, and if you have started building her up already because of Darkhold in the upcoming meta, Scarlet Witch is going to be really, really good here. This Warp Reality heals herself up to full, but then also redistributes health, applies defense up to all allies. Very nice emergency heal there if necessary. She starts off with full charge on this, so it's basically on demand. She's able to prolong negative effects. So let's say you've got heal block or bleeds from Gamora or Lady Deathstrike. You now prolong those. She also applies defense down with this. And then her basic can also apply offense down, defense down, and speed down, or just random negative effects, and she can spread it. So Scarlet Witch, if you've been building her up for Darkhold, this is going to be your kind of like your healer for the squad, because this is really the only good healer that we have on the team. I mean, I'm going through this. I don't really see any other good healers here. And we haven't really talked about Hentai Strange, but there's really no need to, because he's a campaign event character, so unless you've bought his offers, you're probably not going to have this character available until later on. And Yeah, I mean, if you've got Strange, I'm sure he's going to be great, but if you don't, I would not really worry about him. You've got probably a lot of better options, and plus you're going to have to invest a lot of gear into Strange just to make him possibly viable in the heroic level here, because you got to have, remember, you got to have tier 15 and level 6 abilities at least, and you're probably going to have a 2 or 3 star Doctor Strange if you're just starting out the event campaign. And at that level, he's not really viable. You got to really build up those stars on him. So if you don't have Doctor Strange Heartless and you do get him in the event campaign, at that point, there's no need to worry about him. So really, only if you're buying the offer should you worry about Strange in the event campaign. But even then, there's far better options here, like Gamora, Nebula, Wolverine, Lady Deathstrike. Bring in Scarlet Witch. Silver Samurai is decent too. You know, on his assist, he's applying bleed, which is pretty solid, and he's getting a 30% chance to assist if you are bringing Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike in. It's all right. It's not bad, but he doesn't really have a lot of sustainability. He does give defense up and barrier to himself and Weapon X allies, but also, real quick, we'll talk about Scarlet Spider. He's not bad. His healing is okay. If you've got him really built up, like I have him in DD5, if you've got him built up to this kind of level, he should be okay. I mean, his basic's going to apply defense down, which is great. He's able to prolong negative effects, which means prolonging, just like Scarlet Witch, can prolong the bleeds, the defense down, anything like that. He won't prolong abilities block, stun, or trauma, which is fine. But then also he has a nice dispel on his ultimate here, and his passive does allow him to heal up every time he hits an enemy, but it's only 1% of his max health. Not a lot of sustainability there. So that is one I would be very careful of. If I'm going to do an optimal roster for this, I'm probably going to do Gamora and Nebula. I'm going to do Deathpool or actually, maybe not Deathpool, but definitely Gamora and Nebula, Lady Deathstrike, Scarlet Witch, and then probably Deathpool or Wolverine at that point. I would do either Wolverine or Deathpool. Lady Deathstrike has that nice speed bar removal, the defense down, the bleeds and everything. Deathpool has a nice sustainability on her passive too, and maybe it'll work real well, but you know, you want characters that can revive, that can heal, that are not going to really be picked off. Zemo looks good, but he's kind of squishy, and we'll have to see as we do testing in the heroic raids on the heroic campaign. We'll see how difficult this is. We don't know just yet, but based off their recommendations for gear, I'd say that you're going to really need to level up and gear up these characters. So let me know down below, who are you guys bringing in? Do you guys have a different roster idea than I do? If you have enjoyed this video, make sure that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.